Welcome back. In Part 1, we defined key terms like drug use, misuse, abuse, and dependence, explored the continuum of substance use, looked at risk factors for initiation and escalation, and connected these patterns to crime and violence. Now, in Part 2, we're going to take those concepts and see how they're applied through major psychological and sociological theories. We'll also explore how these theories shape prevention, treatment, and policy responses. Let's start with psychological explanations for drug use. One of the earliest and most enduring frameworks is psychoanalytic theory, developed by Sigmund Freud. This approach emphasizes the role of unconscious motives and early life experiences in shaping behavior. Freud believed that our personality develops through psychosexual stages: oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital, and that unresolved conflicts in these stages can contribute to maladaptive behaviors later in life, including drug use. For example, someone who experienced deprivation during the oral stage might later use substances to reduce anxiety. The theory also describes three components of the psyche: the id, which seeks immediate gratification of desires; the ego, which mediates between desires and reality; the superego, which acts as a moral conscience. If the ego is weak, a person may be less able to resist impulses toward drug use, especially under stress. Next is behaviorism, which sees behavior as learned through conditioning. Operant conditioning explains drug use in terms of reinforcement. If using a drug produces pleasure or relief from discomfort, that effect serves as positive reinforcement, increasing the likelihood of future use. Avoidance of withdrawal symptoms is a form of negative reinforcement. Classical conditioning explains how environmental cues become associated with drug effects. For example, if someone always uses a certain drug in a particular setting, the setting itself can trigger cravings. Closely related is cognitive learning theory, which emphasizes that human behavior is influenced by thoughts, expectations, and interpretations. People who believe that a drug will help them relax, have fun, or cope with stress are more likely to use it. This is especially important in understanding placebo effects and how beliefs can shape the actual experience of intoxication. The psychosociological dimension bridges individual psychology and social influence. It points out that intoxication is not inherently pleasurable. People learn to associate drug use with pleasure through social interactions and cultural messages. Over time, reliance on drugs to cope with stress can become a vicious cycle. The more they're used, the more necessary they seem. Now let's shift to sociological perspectives. Strain theory, proposed by Robert Merton, argues that when individuals are unable to achieve culturally valued goals through legitimate means, they experience strain. This can lead to different adaptations: conformity, lowering aspirations and following conventional norms; rebellion, rejecting the current system and seeking an alternative; innovation, using illegitimate means to achieve success, like drug dealing; retreatism, abandoning conventional goals entirely, which can involve turning to drug use as an escape. Differential association theory emphasizes that criminal behavior is learned through close relationships. Initiation into drug use often happens through friends or family, not strangers or dealers. Studies show that most people try substances like heroin for the first time with a friend, underscoring the social nature of initiation. Social control theory focuses on why most people follow the rules. It argues that strong bonds to family, school, and community act as restraints against deviant behavior. Weak bonds, on the other hand, make it easier to drift toward drug use. Internal restraints include a strong conscience and personal values. External restraints include fear of social disapproval or punishment. Subcultural and cultural deviance theories suggest that some groups have norms and values that encourage drug use. For example, a person deeply embedded in a drug-using subculture may adopt its values, see drug use as normal, and pass those values on to others. Symbolic interactionism and labeling theory explore how meaning is constructed through social interaction. Being labeled as a drug user can damage a person's self-image, lead to rejection by conventional society, and push them deeper into deviant subcultures. Once internalized, the label can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, reinforcing the very behavior society condemns. These theories are not just academic. They directly inform prevention and treatment. For instance, operant conditioning principles are used in contingency management programs, where clients receive rewards for drug-free tests. Cognitive approaches challenge beliefs and expectations about drug effects. Strain theory informs social policies that aim to reduce inequality and expand legitimate opportunities. Social control theory supports programs that strengthen family bonds and school engagement. Labeling theory has led to calls for reducing stigmatizing language in public health campaigns and law enforcement. In the legal and policy realm, understanding these theories helps shape laws, enforcement strategies, and rehabilitation efforts. If drug use is seen primarily as a moral failing, policies may focus on punishment. If it's understood as a complex interaction of individual vulnerabilities, learned behaviors, and social structures, responses may emphasize treatment, harm reduction, and prevention. Ultimately, no single theory explains all patterns of drug use. Each provides part of the picture. Together, they offer a multidimensional understanding that can guide more effective and humane responses. In our final video for Unit 1, we'll put this into perspective through a point-of-view scenario, stepping into the lived experience of someone navigating these factors in real time. You'll see how theories and concepts intersect in a way that statistics and definitions alone can't capture.